Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use my voiced subtitle system with a new project or a project that you already have ongoing. We're going to create a new project and go through the setup process. Okay, creating the project now, and I'm going to assume that in your project you will be using an instance. So we're going to create an instance to simulate your instance. Here we go. We're gonna call it your game instance. Alright, so we save. And now you will want to migrate, let's close here. Let's open LBSS. And you will want to use the migrate function from the engine here. You don't want to just copy and paste from the Windows browser. So in LBSS you will want to copy these two folders, voice subs BPs, use migration, select your folder, your project's content folder. Okay. Now do the same with the other folder. Okay, same folder. It will tell you that some things have already been migrated, but just say yes to all and override it. Okay, so now we can go back to your project. I'm going to tell you how to set up things quickly. Basically, first thing you need to add is in your game instance, you need to add a new variable called subs manager, and the type of the variable is a subs manager reference. Okay, we're also going to make sure this instance is set. Here we go. This is my instance. If you don't have an instance in your project, you can just use this and you don't really need to set up anything else, I think. But if you have your own game instance, and this entire part of the video will be about setting it up for your own game instance. If you don't have one, you can just use this one. Or if it's a brand new project, you can use this one as your basis. So let's select your game instance and continue with the setup. So now that you've created your subs manager variable, you need to go into voice subs BPs function library. Okay, and here we have three functions. You need to get to the first one, get instance, delete the cast node, create a new cast to your game instance, make it pure cast for simpleness, and here you need to change the type of this. You change it to your game instance reference. There. Now we can use this function from anywhere to get your game instance and have it cast already. And now there's a compiling error. You need to go to get subs manager function, and here delete this node from the get instance node. Get subs manager. And here make sure that you select the variable, not the function. Okay, so you select the variable, this blue node, you link it here, compile, save, and you're set with the function library. We're gonna leave it open just in case. So next thing we need to do is open the subs manager. And here you will have a lot of functions that I will try to explain to you, but in the event graph we need to solve a compilation error. So you go to the bottom box, read data from table and save a copy in your game instance. Okay, so this is what is giving us the error. Basically it's trying to set a variable in the old instance. So what you need to do is delete this from your game get instance, do a get subs manager no, sorry, do a set subs manager. We connect it. We connect self to the value of the variable, and that's it. Now, if you want to have this entire thing working here, which makes a copy of all the data in your subtitles table and saves it in the game instance, which can be useful for advanced things, you do this. Okay. Actually, yeah, it's saved in the instance, but it's saved in the subs manager. It's only the subs manager will be part of your instance. What happens here is that when you start playing, the subs manager sets itself in the instance, so you can have access to it from anywhere. Alright, so we reconnected this. I will do it again, just in case. You delete this. From get instance, you do set subs manager. You connect it to begin play, you connect it here, and you connect self to subs manager. This will be the value. Okay, next thing about the subs manager, you need to make sure, this is very important, that there's one instance of the subs manager in your screen, your scene, your level, anywhere. Just one instance is enough, but you need to have it. If you don't have it, it won't work, and if you have more than one, there will be problems. So just get one subs manager in your scene at all times, anywhere you want. You can hide it, you can do whatever. Okay, so now we can actually use this. So what you have here is in the subs manager you have options exposed in the editor, the subtitle language, the voice language, the volume from 0 to 1, 0% to 100%, disable subtitles and disable voices. These are also accessible in the UMG folder language select. You have all these options, and these options you can check what they do in the graph. Like this one sets the language, this one sets the subtitle language, this one is for the voice language here. This one changes the volume of the voices. This one disables subtitles, and this one disables voices. They are all variables in the subs manager, as you've seen previously. So this language select HUD is like there is an example character here, example char, blueprints, example char. You have several functionalities here. You have the initial HUD set up because you need to set up the subtitles HUD, but you should already know how to do this, otherwise just check the example chart and you'll have to add it to viewport. Okay, there's a function here, quick show subtitles. This is good for prototyping because you don't need to do the data table. Basically you have the event here, pressing T, and this will make this subtitles appear. You can edit them here, editing subtitle. You can change the audio asset if you want one. Also for prototyping, like you can have a default sound, like blah, blah, blah. How long is the subtitle going to be displayed for? In seconds. And how loud is it going to be in relation to other sounds? Then you have a delay. So basically you can copy and paste this several times and connect it like this. You will connect this here, second subtitle, and this would appear after this one. Okay, so next function we have is just a simple pause, and here we have examples of dialogues using monologues or with delays, or using the function call conversation. This is you can see how after the event, the way to use this is get subs manager from anywhere, and from here you do call monologue interface call. And what this will do is you feed it an array of names. These are the names of your subtitles. Here, subs, this is the data, right? This is where all the subtitles are for your game. This is the name of your subtitle. So if you want to add a hello world, it says hello world, you would change, you would add here, like I want to say this, then I want to say this, then I want to say hello world. And you can create any of this that you want. You can create more subtitles. You make it an array of names, you compile it, and you can have all the subtitles you want in a row. Then this function gets the length of these series of voices or subtitles. Like if they last for 10 seconds, it will give you 10. So you can do a delay for 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, and then call another one. And you can do this continuously. Okay? And there's also an embedded function called call conversation that takes two lists of subtitles. It takes a pause in between the first monologue and the second monologue, and a volume modifier for each of them. Basically this will trigger this first. It will wait for 1 second or 2 or 3 or 23, and then it will trigger this, which is great for quick conversation as well, or just random chatting between characters. And then we have the options menu. When you press L, it will display the hat that we created first. This hat. So you can use this as it is, or you can make your own version and just copy these values to make your own cool hat widget. Okay, so the last thing we need to check is, okay, this is the data table that it's being used right now, and this is a structure that defines how subtitles in the data table are. Right now they have an English audio, a Spanish audio, Swedish audio, English text, Spanish text, Swedish text, and a display time. Okay, so you have this and you want to change the language completely, and you want to use another data table because you don't like mine. Okay, so what you would need to do to change the language is first, in the main folder, language, and this enumerator will enumeration blueprint keeps the list of languages. So let's imagine you just want to add German, for example. German. So you would save this. You would, well, right now this is not here. We go to the language, select HUD. Here, this is where you select the language. We need to add German, so we select this. We add German, and here too, German. Okay, and in the here we need to add German as well, like not just the button but the functionality as well. So we add a new pin in this switch. We add German. We copy this because we're going to reuse it in German. We make sure that in the enum it selects German. Okay, we do the same down here. This is for the voice language. If you want to have voices in German, if you don't, you don't need to do this, and it won't show in the selector. But let's imagine you want to have full language support. You create a new pin there, German, connect the pin here, making sure this doesn't work because this is for subtitles. From the subs manager, we set voice language enum. We connect German here, and we make sure that this is set to German. Okay. All right. Now, since we added a new language, we need to add the subs manager again here. And now this subs manager we have German. We can set this to German. But our problem is that in the data table there's no German. So what we need to do is go in the subs folder, and we need to add to our struct. We need to add two new variables. One of them will be a sound base reference, and this will be audio German or here, and a text variable called German. This will hold the German text. Now we can move these up and down if you want to. Move the display time to the bottom, move this up. Okay, so now everything is in order. You save this, and here comes the trickiest part. See, we have German now here in our data table. It's empty, so you would have to fill it by yourself. But we will talk about that later. So now to have the new language show up, you need to go to the to your subs manager, show subtitles function. Okay, and here we have the three languages, right? If subtitles are on, it checks the language and fires corresponding text. And now you'll see that we have German here, and it's not connected to anything. So what we need to do is we make this bigger to make space for it. We're going to copy Swedish, for example. We're going to paste it here. We connect German here, like that. And now we need to change what is actually connected here. Okay, so we want to use the German text, and the display time is already connected, so that's okay. We can make this small again. Now the German text will display instead of the Swedish text, and we connect this to this branch here. Alright, this you will do for whatever amount of languages you have. You just need to add it to the language enum like we did in the beginning. Add it in the enum here. Add it in the language select hub so that you can actually change it from here. We need to delete the subs manager that we have now and add another one so it's updated with the new language, German. And we need to edit subs manager, show subtitles, so that the actual function takes the German text. Okay, and this is for subtitles, and then there's this for voices. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna make this bigger, like that. We're going to copy everything in the Swedish part. We copy it, we paste it, we connect German here, and now we change. What do we change? Here in the break subtitles struct, you have to select audio German, put it here, and that's it. You connect this here because it disconnects for some reason, and that's it. Now something that is optional but recommended is to go to the macro blueprint, and in the delayed subs loop, this is a very complicated macro that is needed for this to work. you will see that all the autos are considered except the German one because it's new. So you would pull a cable from here, duration, get duration, you would click on max, add a new pin, and connect this here, and save. Basically what that does is it considers the length of the German audio, because it can sometimes be a lot longer than the English audio or text. So basically if you have a sentence that is 2 seconds in English but 4 in German, it will still work. The system will automatically pick that up. Okay, we're gonna save everything now, and we're gonna use one of our subtitles trigger. This is a very simple trigger that is also included in the project. And here, okay, let's the data table for yes. This is the name of the subtitle. It has all of this. It has all the languages except German. So we add German. You should do this from Excel or from a CSV editor, but you can do it directly from here. I suggest using Excel with a macro or a CSV editor, like, I don't know, there are many, or Sublime Text, or Excel with a macro, which is what I use, because it's really simple to then take the Excel file and send it to someone else for translation or for checking, or if you have a writer, you can just send them the file. You don't need to use Unreal. And then you would just re-import every time. You can export it, you can re-import it. Okay, and we already said that for prototyping you can use quick subtitles, right? Which doesn't use the subtitles manager. It uses your own input here. Okay, so we were editing the data table to include text for German for yes. It's here now, yeah. So we save, and now you will see the German has text here. So we go back to our subtitles trigger, we add the subtitle name yes, and in the subs manager we want to change the subtitle language to German. Now we're going to play. You see the trigger here, yes. We go in here and it doesn't work. Why? Because the character by default doesn't have the subtitles hat. I will do it very quickly. Event begin play, create widget, subtitles hat, controller. Actually you can just copy this from the example chart, which is what I'm going to do. This is the initial hat setup. Click this. You take this, you paste it. It will probably fail because there are some variables that haven't been created yet. So we delete these and these. Set promote to variable lang select. As it is called here, lang cell for compatibility. Lang cell. And now we do the same with the subtitles hat, promote variable, and we call it hat. Okay, so now we connect this, add to viewer. Okay, we need the player controller. No, we need to connect these, sorry. Okay, now we're adding to the viewport both of them. Okay, so now when we play, see, this menu will actually be displaying there automatically. Yes. And now we have our German
Yes.
subtitles there. There's a little bug where
Yes.
when you go in and out of the, like you can see on the menu to the right that it says English, but that's because we have changed the language on the subs manager. So we can do this. We can, as in the example character, sorry, we don't add this. In the example character we have, when pressing L, we're gonna show the options menu. So we can copy this over to your character. Okay, and now when we press L, that will work. So we start playing. This will be in
Yes.
English. Yes. If we press L, we can change the subtitle language to German, your new language. We press L again to hide the menu.
Yes.
And now it's in German. And we can do the same for Spanish.
Yes.
We can do the same for the voice, like Spanish as well. There's no sound for the subtitle, so it doesn't play any sound. Now, what I was telling you is that when you switch to Swedish, for example, you close the menu and you open it again, it will change back to English. But this is not an issue. Okay? It will still, like, you will just have to select it again. Now you close the menu and you have
Yes.
German audio, German subtitles,
Yes.
and English audio. And you can also control the volume. You can mute the voices. See?
Yes.
You can disable the subtitles
Yes.
like that,
Yes.
or you can disable the voices separately. Like, both would be silly, but you can do it if you want to. Okay, I think that covers everything. Oh, and you will have errors like this. Why is this? Because the system is looking for audio files that don't exist. But this doesn't really cause any problem. It's looking for files that in the data table are set to none. But this is not a problem. This won't cause performance issues or crashes or anything. So we've gone through the setup, we've added a new language, we've modified this. Right, if you want to use a new data table, like you want to use this one instead, which is it's something that I made from another example. You want to make this data table the one the system uses, not this one. You just need to go to the subs manager here. You need to do that, and in the function called clear subs and add new, which is used every time you use subtitles, here in this node, get data table row sample data, you need to change the data table to subs data OG or whichever other data table you have. Okay, it's very important that the data table has to be of the subs extract table type. Okay, it has to be of this type. When you import it or when you create it, it has to be of this type. Now, since we are using this data table now, let's make sure it works. We can get gem door fail, for example. We go here, gem door fail. We play. The door's locked. See, it works perfectly fine with the new data table. So, and there are some audios as well. Right, if you want to use audios in your data table, you need to go to wherever your audio is. In my case, subs, voices. And you need to take whichever audio you want and right click, copy reference. Okay, then you can go here, select flexible, for example, and you can paste the sound. Alright, you can also use this, for example, if you're using Notepad, you can paste it here. If you use Excel, you can just paste it like this, and when you import it, the engine will identify this as a sound wave and it will use it automatically. So I think that's all. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, doubts, or anything, you can contact me on the forums or on my website or through my email with no problems at all. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this system and that it will be very useful for you. Bye.